Hello everyone. Okay, so today we are going to continue our discussion still related with the concept of syntax. But before we talk about it, today we are going to discuss about performance and competence first. I believe everybody has heard the term performance and competence before, over and over again. For example, the classroom, outside of the classroom. But how do you define performance and competence? But before we talk about like performance, we are going to talk first about competence. How do you define competence, guys? Okay, good. So competence is defined as the knowledge of system of a language. So when we talk about like language competence or linguistic competence, for example, it deals with our own knowledge, how knowledgeable a person is. If, for example, someone knows a lot of, for example, the system of the language, how the sentence is structured, how the word is pronounced, for example, or the meaning behind of it, or whether we are using noun or verb, for example, it deals with the knowledge. So it means that knowledge help us to create and understand sentences. In a broad sense, linguistic competence, for example, includes several components such as phonetics, how you pronounce, or how you transcribe, and then phonology, syntax, it deals with the sentence, semantics, dealing with the meaning, and morphology, it deals with words. Competence enable native speaker, for example, or native like speaker, or even an ELL learner or English language learner to recognize syntactically correct or ambiguous sentences. If someone, for example, know that it is a good sentence, it has a good structure syntactically, for example, or for example, another sentence has or another sentence is considered as ambiguous, it means that someone has good competence. How about you guys? Can you, for example, analyze all of the English sentences, for example, that you read in your daily activity? Hmm. Okay, so when we talk about like competence, we also talk about performance. If competence deals with the knowledge, performance deals with the actual use of a language in both speech and writing. It means that when we talk about performance level, we talk about the productive skills. A learner's performance in a language is the direct indication of the student competence. So it can be said that someone, okay, having problem like this means, or having this score of TOEFL, for example, it means in the TOEFL test means the performance means that, oh, the competence is there. Okay, but sometimes it's not easy to judge whether it deals with the competence problem or performance problem. Some students, for example, an ELL learner, may create errors in speech or writing. It can be caused by, for example, the first one, lack of knowledge. It means that the student do not really understand the rules, or the student, for example, the rules of creating a sentence, for example, or the rules of pronounce the word. Or errors can be caused by the performance errors, for example, fatigue, lack of attention, or assignment to or nervousness, or even like memory. It deals with a lot of factors, or even, for example, a health problem affects your performance factors. Okay, I hope as EAL learners, you should not make mistake from the competence level. If, for example, you know nothing, it means that the error from your competence, it means that you are not competent enough in using the language. It is still okay, for example, that we can say your performance affects your speaking ability. For example, if you are nervous or couldn't pronounce the word properly because of that level, but you have to improve your performance quality as well. So try to be relaxed, for example. Or in writing, it's pretty clear, for example, um, because, for example, you are sick and then you couldn't recall all the patterns, all the concepts that you are going to write down on a piece of paper during the examination. For example, you threw up the day before the exam day. Means that your health problem affects your performance and it makes, for example, the judges say that you do not have good performance. I think it's enough. I hope it's clear to differentiate between performance and competence. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.